back for week 8 of the college football predictions. Will Duke beat FSU? And does Kirby have a Haint called Steve Spurrier? So your comment over the weekend about Georgia being ripe.
Georgia being right?
Yeah. Who do you think is going to pick it?
Like, for them to get a loss?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw the same thing I saw, but I ain't going to say it publicly. Who's going to knock them down one?
Well, you still got us. I think that's, really, to be honest with you, out of everybody left on the schedule, I think we have the best shot if we're healthy going into the game. And we come out firing on all cylinders, which we usually both these teams get up for this game. And Kirby will have them ready to play because he fucking hates us with a passion. Because he still has nightmares about Steve Spurrier.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. He said in an interview this week that Steve Spurrier abused him in the 90s.
Oh, really?
It's personal. It's personal.
I think he was on those 94 and 95 teams when we played in the swamp. We played in Athens while the Jacksonville Stadium was getting remodeled. And we went up there and, well, I say we, Florida went up there and kicked the crap out of them, but the Georgia teams back then were just not good. I think he was on the 97 team that Florida lost to. Muschamp was on that team too. So I always thought Muschamp was sabotaging us when he was our coach.
Oh yeah,
specifically in this game. Until we finally, like, the one time he finally, like, when he, the one time that Florida really probably shouldn't have beaten Georgia, 2014, we threw 3 passes and ran for 400 yards and won that game like 37-20 or something. And he was already fired. He was already fired at that point.
You're fired. Get out.
He knew he wasn't coming back. Of all the coaches, like, of all the shitty coaches we've had over the last decade, Muschamp is you ask any Florida fan, Muschamp is their favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a good coach. He just I don't know. He just can't get out of his own way.
Just missing a couple of straws, huh?
Well, I mean, he hired Charlie Weiss to be our offensive coordinator. Terrible.
The Notre Dame coach? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah. And Charlie Weiss, he made his hay with with Bill Belichick and the Patriots in the early 2000s.
Correct. Yeah. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and then he went to Notre Dame. He had 1, maybe 2 good years. He got let go from there, and I think he took a year off, and then Muschamp hired him when he got the Florida job after Meyer stepped down. But yeah. Muschamp is definitely, post Urban Meyer, Muschamp is everybody's favorite. I don't think anybody really foresaw. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why nobody really saw it coming. Like, Georgia, like, taking some steps back this year. I mean, you're starting a new quarterback. Your entire defense has been drafted in the last 2 years. I mean, you had 22 players drafted or something like that. Like, eventually that shit catches up with you.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're still winning, but yeah.
They got some coaching to do. Young team.
Yeah, I think so. And you got some guys on that team. Like, I was looking at some of the players who were playing defense, and I'm just like, where are the guys that you recruited? Because some of these guys, I'm like, I don't even recognize them. And I follow recruiting. I'm just like, where are the guys that you recruited in the last couple of years? Like,
I tell you what, I think we got the game we expected from Washington and Oregon. Penix Jr., I think, got his job done, and they pulled it off at home. My question is, yeah, Texas A&M, that offense looks flatter than a whole cake. It's like he just wants to get fired. I mean, what's going on with Texas A&M? I've never seen a offense this bad from Jimbo Fisher's football team.
That's not Jimbo's offense anymore either.
He is the head coach.
Agreed. But I think so. I think what happened. So Jimbo's been there since 2018. He got hired 2018. It's his first year there. And he used to call plays. He's always called plays. He was offensive coordinator for Bobby Bowden. He was offensive coordinator for Nick Saban at LSU when they won a national championship. But the knock on him is he doesn't adapt his offense to the players that he has. And what I'm thinking is, I think at the end of last season, the AD probably forced him to hire an offensive coordinator to call plays. So they hired Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino is a really good offensive coordinator, but I think what's happening is Jimbo pretty much said, yeah, I'll get offensive coordinator, but he's going to call my offense. And he's going to call it the way I want it called. And I think that's what's happening because they got dudes all over that team.
Yeah. I mean, I was dumbfounded when they were stuck on the 1 yard line and couldn't get out of the end zone.
Yeah. I don't know, but
you can't tell me you can't get 5 yards on a short slant. I mean, come on.
I'm telling you right now, it's Texas A&M, and they got oil money. They will come up with that $60 million to fire his ass.
That is probably true.
And I don't think they'll think twice about it. Going back to the Oregon game, there was some. Everybody likes to play. You know how everybody likes to play Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah,
I didn't get to watch this one, but apparently there was some questionable fourth down calls from Dan Lanning, Oregon's coach, going for it when they probably should have kicked a field goal. And then, I mean, I don't see how you question that when they were right there at the end. They're kicking a field goal to tie the game. You know, now the kicker missed it, but I mean, it's not like you got your butt kicked.
No,
you know what I mean?
It was a good football game, I thought.
Yeah, Oregon. I mean, it's not like Oregon dropped. They went from 8 to 9, and Washington moved up to 5 from 7. So, I mean, I think that's relatively correct. I think.
How far did Oregon drop?
Oregon only dropped one spot.
Okay.
Which I think that's correct. I think North Carolina should be maybe, because right now it's Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington, Oklahoma, Penn State. Texas is 5-1. Oregon's 5-1. Then you have undefeated North Carolina at 10. I think North Carolina should be above Texas and Oregon. But other than that, I think the top 10 is mostly correct.
Yeah, it looks like you called it spot on with Notre Dame running away with it against USC.
Yeah, USC is a one-sided team. They don't play defense. So.
No, they sure don't. He had that problem at Oklahoma.
They might. I'm picking them to lose this week to Utah. I think.
You think USC is going to lose to Utah?
Yeah, Utah beat them last year twice.
Really?
Well. Yep. Yeah, I do, sir. I sure do. The funny thing is USC is still there. Well, they're tied for first place in the conference because that Notre Dame game wasn't a conference game,
right?
But yeah, I think Utah's 2-1 in the conference. They lost to Oregon State, but I think they can. I think they can handle USC. Depends on which, as long as they don't give up a bunch of bombs and whatnot. Kansas let me down last week.
Yeah,
I thought they had that game.
You're getting over there in that other category.
Yeah, I picked Kansas too.
Even if you expect them to win it, don't pick them.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Penn State. What's the pulse on this? You're at Ohio State.
Yeah, I think whoever scores last wins this game.
Oh, you're calling it within 7.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much a pick 'em, isn't it? What's the spread on this one?
4.5.
Yeah. So
even the bookie don't have much faith in Ohio State at home.
Ole Miss should make pretty quick work of Auburn, I think. I hope. Don't say it, damn it. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I still roll with Ole Miss in this game, but I think it'll be similar to Auburn.
Well, they're playing
Georgia.
at Auburn, aren't they? But
Yeah.
still,
So you give the home team. I think the rule is you give the home team 3 points, not favored, but you spot them 3 points for playing at home,
right.
something like that.
Well, Miss is only favored by 6.5, so.
Well, that's because Ole Miss don't play defense.
Ain't nobody playing defense, apparently.
Auburn plays defense. That's why I say don't be surprised if they win this game. They kept Georgia. I mean, they kept it close with Georgia. I forget what the score was, but it was close. It was a close game.
I'm still impressed with. I was just talking to buddy Rod Duke. He's an Arkansas fan.
Yeah.
And that quarterback for Arkansas, I watched him take a hit. Now, granted, I think it was a cornerback or something. If not, he made him look small. But
he just bounced off of him or something.
No, he wrapped him up. He came across unfettered and drilled the quarterback, and he just kind of went, "Yeah, see ya," and moved him and took off running and threw for first down.
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, KJ Jefferson's different.
He's a big boy.
He's like 6'5", 250.
Yeah. 245, I think. Yeah.
Should probably be playing D-line.
Something. I mean, he's ridiculous. I mean, that guy wrapped him up and he made him look stupid.
Yeah. What do you think
and
about?
Just took off.
What do y'all think about Clemson and Miami?
I'm looking at the stats right now. I really have a hard time going with Clemson as much as they failed me in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but I don't trust Miami.
I don't either. That's the problem.
You don't trust Miami?
I do not trust Miami.
What do you mean you don't trust them?
They're just as bad.
They lost
to Georgia Tech.
They lost to the engineers of Georgia Tech. Okay. And you know why they lost, Smitty?
Why?
Because they did not take a knee.
Oh, yeah, you were saying, somebody else was saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. All they had to do was take a knee and run out the clock. Georgia Tech didn't have any timeouts left. I mean, you got to be the
I picked Clemson.
dumbest head coach.
But Clemson's been sucking. But
yeah,
I'm just going with the odds on those. Although you got me up in arms now about the Utah USC game. I was pretty sure USC, but I'm not so sure. They're playing in California.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Los Angeles Coliseum or whatever. I think you only got it like if you can score with USC, but you know how to play defense is basically what Notre Dame did. You can play some defense against USC. You can beat them.
Exactly.
Lincoln Riley's going to have to make a change out there. He's had that defensive coordinator since he was at Oklahoma.
And I think, did Stanford upset somebody this past week?
Yeah. Colorado.
That's what it was.
That's right. 29-0 at half.
Yeah. And they came back and stomped the shit out of them. To 30 unanswered points or some shit.
Yeah, the opening, the second half, they ran the opening kickback. So that started it.
Right. I didn't watch the game. I just saw
I don't know what Dion and crew were doing, but
not a whole lot of defense.
No. And man, I was talking to Mike at work about it, and I said, man, I don't really know how you get up 29-0 and lose the game. He said, just ask the Falcons. I said,
oh, damn.
I said, it still stings, huh?
What do you think about the over-under on Duke, Florida State, 14.5 Florida State?
I think people are underestimating that Duke defense, Mike Elko. I've been saying it since the beginning, since they beat Clemson. Duke's the best team in the ACC.
I think they definitely going to cover the line.
See, okay, so if we're going to use let's use the transitive property here a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Duke, USC, or Notre Dame just beat the crap out of USC, right? 48-20. Duke lost to Notre Dame 21-14. Very close game. They kept it close. All right. So my thought process is that Notre Dame can score on anybody, just about. They clearly have a good offense when they're playing a bad defense. Duke doesn't have a bad defense. Florida State almost lost to Boston College, probably deserved to lose that game. Boston College is pure garbage. So if Boston College can hold Florida State in check, I think Duke can. It's just whether or not they can score. That part I don't know.
So Florida State, yeah, they did almost lose to Boston College.
Are they playing at Doak? That's the real question. Yeah, they're playing at Doak, so I don't know. On paper, Florida State should win this game by 14.
Yeah.
I think if you can get up, 2 scores on them going into halftime and then actually play fucking defense in the second half.
I got a shot.
You got a shot. We got to play Florida State at the end of the year, so.
Who are you playing this week?
Nobody.
Oh, you got a bye?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Georgia's on a bye too.
Yeah, we always have a bye before the Georgia game, which is good for us. We need to get some guys healthy. Hey,
by healthy, you mean feed them?
Well, our starting center's only played 2 games this year with a high ankle sprain.
We lost Bowers too. Bowers is out.
Yeah,
He'll be back for the postseason.
Well, Bowers being out hurts.
Yeah,
That's been his go-to since this whole freaking season. When they get in a bind, Bowers is the guy.
I'm wondering if Mike Bobo is going to be able to slay his Florida Gator demons, because we own his ass.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Just an early prediction?
No, not at all. We should lose this game by 30.
Hey, you never know. I mean,
I'll never pick against my team though, but I'm just completely honest. Yeah, Georgia should easily win this game.
I'm going to call a prediction here. I'm going to take Duke's defense within a field goal over FSU. FSU's had 7 sacks already this year, so I think Duke's going to be able to put pressure on them. This is going to be a tight one.
Yeah, and Florida State's defense is buns, so I don't know. We'll see. I like it. I like that prediction. Hate Florida State.
I don't know about this Clemson-Miami game, though.
Take Clemson, man.
I'm taking Clemson, but...
Take Clemson and take the money.
And take the money.
Take the money.
If I had to pick a coach to shit the bed during a game, it's Mario Cristobal. So, yeah. And TVD, their starting quarterback is hurt. I don't know how bad, but he's hurt.
Okay.
So if they put that backup quarterback, his name's Jakari Brown. He was god awful last year, and I don't know that he's gotten any better.
Pocket quarterback.
He's mobile. He's
mobile.
Yeah. What do you think about South Carolina, Missouri? You think? Because South Carolina can score points. They've shown that.
I think Missouri should be able to handle them. Then again, Missouri, they're like the Falcons. The other team might show up.
That's another coach up there, Eli Drinkowitz, who gave up play calling in the off season, hired an offensive coordinator, and they're doing pretty well now.
The Lions got it with Mizzou.
I kind of feel bad for South Carolina. They've had a rough schedule to start the season.
They did have a rough one, didn't they?
Missouri, not so much. They did beat Kansas State, but it was a close game.
Yes, South Carolina. Yeah, they opened with North Carolina, Furman, and then Georgia.
Yeah, that Kentucky game's going to haunt me the rest of the year.
I tell you, if Duke gets in trouble, their kicker's going to let them down.
Man, you're hard on a fella.
Dude, I mean, he's 60%.
Better than half?
Barely.
He's at Duke for a reason.
Right. It's not football.
He probably plays soccer full time.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
No, I think we need to call a coach, tell him to go down to soccer field and pick a guy.
Or a girl.
It'd be like Florida. We had a dental student kicking one year. We had tryouts. That's how bad our kicking situation was. Like in the middle of the season. I'm not even talking about in the off season. It was just like
middle of the season.
Middle of the fucking
We need a
season. We had
kicker,
open tryouts for a kicker.
Now that I've seen the stats, I really wonder how many times they go for it on fourth down.
Oh, we hadn't even talked about the elephant in the room. No pun intended.
Tell me.
Alabama plays Tennessee this week.
Yeah.
I don't think Tennessee has a chance.
I don't think so.
I think Tennessee's going to smoke them.
I think it depends on which Tennessee team shows up. Also depends on which Alabama team shows up. And they're playing at Bryant-Denny, so
yeah, they're playing in Alabama, so Tennessee's going to have a hard time either way. But
I mean, they're going to get a few shots downfield, but I don't.
No,
nah.
I don't know. There's a lot of chinks in Alabama's armor this year.
It is, but Tennessee is so inconsistently bad from one week to the next. I think they're already in their own heads.
Yeah.
They have no defense.
Yeah. They're giving Alabama 9 points.
Yeah.
Over unders 48.5.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm rooting for Tennessee because I always root against Alabama, but either way. Never liked Alabama. I'm a hater from way back.
There you go. Don't let grudges go.
Never.
I love how, UCF, Smitty, you don't know this, but they were clamoring for many years that, they belonged in the big leagues, and, they claim a 2017 national championship, even though they did not play in the national championship game.
What?
Yeah, they just went undefeated, and they didn't get invited to the playoff that year because they were in the American Conference, whatever. They were in a lower conference. Well, they moved up to the Big 12 this year, and they are getting smoked
just
every
getting
week.
Rocked.
And I love it.
Please, if anybody has any questions or comments, hit us up at primecohesion@gmail.com or head to our Facebook page at Prime Cohesion on Facebook and leave some comments. We'd appreciate it.